G'day there, Craig from Fully Air Conditioned here. Today we're just going to go through and have a look at the Daikin US7 or the Urura Sarah as it once was known. I think they changed the name in Australia because no one could get their tongue around it, me included. But yeah, we're just going to go through and have a look at this system. We've got one here in the workshop, just a display in the showroom, just a display model. But I'll go through a few of the key features of the unit. The upsetting thing is that Daikin Australia have decided to discontinue the unit. I wanted to do a video on this earlier, I've just been too busy, and before we pull it down off the wall because we've sold it to someone, I thought I'd just do a quick video showing you all the features and why I think it's an excellent system. Okay, so like I was telling you before, the US7 has a couple of key features that make it different. So it doesn't just heat and cool the air, it also has the ability to reduce humidity or increase humidity. All air conditioners can remove moisture, but at a process of doing that, it actually cools the air, and air conditioners can't make moisture, or can't increase humidity. So, you know, this in sense of an air conditioner is doing what a true air conditioner does. It's the control of the temperature and the humidity, both increase and decrease, temperature increase and decrease, and cleanliness of the air. And this does all of that. It has a very good filter system, and we'll go through that a bit later. It also has a silica wheel that absorbs moisture from the air and can create or brings what they call steam air into the house. And it also has two coils on the indoor unit, so it can remove moisture but then reheat the air. So it is really a different unit. There's nothing else on the market like it. So we'll start at the outdoor unit and talk a bit about this. So this is the outdoor unit. This particular system is only a 2.5 kilowatt. To give you an idea, that system behind me here is a 2.5 kilowatt as well. So it's a lot smaller than this outdoor unit. Being bigger, it has the ability to absorb and reject more heat. So it ends up being far more efficient. This outdoor unit is more like the size of a 5 kilowatt outdoor unit, not a 2.5. So the bottom section here is the air conditioner, and it's like any normal air conditioner: compressor, condenser fan, condenser. This top section here houses the silica wheel. That's what's inside it, and that's where it draws the moisture from the air. So the wheel rotates around, and there's a fan inside there, and it draws air in. It draws air in here, goes up through the silica wheel, and then blows it out here. And from that air, moisture is then absorbed into the silica wheel. The silica wheel rotates and rotates around a little heater element, and just here there's a heater just here, and when the air's drawn in, the wheel continues to rotate, absorbs moisture through all of that part. A certain section here gets heated up, and then there's another fan just here that draws air in from the back through the wheel again, and because it's been heated, it evaporates off the moisture in that wheel, and then that travels down the side here and out and an upper steam tube to the indoor unit. So it gives it the ability to add moisture to the air. You might ask, why do you want to add moisture to the air? Well, in heating, you can achieve a far better comfort level in your home at a cheaper price if the humidity is higher. So air, like moisture in your skin evaporates off. The drier the air is, the faster that happens and the cooler you feel. If the air is already saturated with moisture, you don't evaporate off your skin as much, so you naturally don't cool down as much. So a system, say running at 60% relative humidity, you'll probably have a comfort factor of around 20, 21. If we're down to maybe 20% relative humidity, you'd probably need to be running that air conditioner at about 23 to feel the same comfort factor, 23, 24. So it's a really good way of reducing running cost with temperature. So I'll just grab the camera, and in the top here, this is a silica wheel. This is the fan, draws air up through the silica wheel down out the front there. This is the heater element section, so it has a little heater here, draws air in the back, through there, back out, through this little fan motor, that sends it down the side, and then over the side here, we have a little steam pipe that connects up in here. So yeah, it adds moisture to the air. You can see this is a 2.5 kilowatt system, and so is this. And this is a lot bigger than this one. So this unit has the ability to punch well above its weight in performance, and that's one of the benefits of this unit, is it has a lot of performance on heating, nearly twice what this one does at maximum. Okay, so this is the indoor unit. Normally these louvers are closed. This is a display unit, and to get the covers off under here, we had to open them slightly. So we haven't had power on it. If there was power on it, these would close. But it's purely just set up here for just for looks, so people can see what it looks like. They are an ugly unit. They're big. This one here sits out off the wall 380 millimeters, so it is a big indoor, so a lot of people want to see what they look like. So anyway, to get to the filters and everything to do with cleaning the air, it's in behind this cover here. So you just 2 tabs on the side, give it a pull, pops open, push it up a little further, and gets past the little locators and comes off. Best to take it off, it's just a lot easier to get to all the filters. So yeah, they're the roll filters. Here we have the dust box. So because the filters roll around and continuously clean once a day, they actually collect the dust in this little dust box. So to get that out, push the tabs across and you slide the dust box out. Then here on the front where it says open, slide that across and you open it up, and inside there is where it'll be full of dust, and that's what you take out and clean. So that's the dust box. Now also in here you can take the filters out and clean them. They continuously clean the dust off, but after a period of time, if these get dirty, they can be cleaned. So you just unclip these and hinge that up, grab hold of the blue tabs and slide it out. So you can see here that you have 1, 2 layers, and that rolls around. There's a little drive wheel cog there, and that runs off this little wheel up here and rotates the filter like so and cleans it. It also has like a tiny little bristle brush here that brushes it, and there's also another one on the collection box, so it rubs the opposite way and brushes the dust off. Now these can be washed. You just take them out, put them in the sink with some mild detergent, warm soapy water, and that'll break down the grease and the muck, and they'll come out a lot cleaner. So there's one on both sides, and yeah, they slide out. There's like a little rail that they slide along. The next filter is up here, and this is from the steam air that comes in, or the air that's come through the silica wheel. So it's filtered before it enters the system. So that's just a little washable filter, and that just slides back in there, like so. Oh, upside down, Miss Jane. The other filters here, that they're not in at the moment, but they're two black filters, one here and one here. They're photocatalytic filters. Those filters there, they are an active filter, so they start absorbing moisture, smells, odours and bacteria. They wear out, so we didn't put them in because it's just a display unit. But normally they would be there. You don't wash them, you shouldn't get them wet. They need to be replaced after 2 or 3 years. So you can order them in. The other thing it has over here is this streamer unit. So what this does, and I hope I get it right, is it activates the oxygen and nitrogen molecules. Now they become active, and they actively seek out and break down odours and bacteria, kill viruses. So, this type of unit here, they say it's 1,000 times better at killing odours, bacteria and viruses than a filter. So it works really well. This one here, you just got to give it a rinse in water, and if you see any dust build up, there's like a tiny little fine metal probe in there. If it's dirty, just give it a wipe with cotton wool buds, and I'll bring it up to the camera. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, it's probably focusing on me, not this. So they're just in the back there. There you go, you can just see it. Anyway, so it has like a little tab here, and as the air blows out, a bit comes through here and travels out through the system. So that's the indoor unit. The other key thing of this indoor unit, and one of the reasons why it's so big, is it has 2 coils. So it has the ability to heat and cool simultaneously. So it'll send hot gas to the indoor unit, and that will heat one section of the coil and heat the air. And then after that, after the heat has been absorbed out of the refrigerant, it turns into a liquid. Then it passes through another TX valve where it expands into a low pressure. It drops in pressure and it expands and changes from a liquid back into a vapor. And when it does that, it absorbs heat. So that's where you get your cooling or its dehumidification process. So from the same 2 pipes that come into the unit, the first part of the coil condenses it, and then the second part evaporates it off. So it's like a condenser and evaporator all in one, because both of those things are happening here simultaneously. So it warms the air to raise the temperature, and then it cools the air to remove the moisture. And that's how it drops the humidity without changing the temperature. To change the temperature up, both those coils now can become heating, and so it'll raise the temperature. If it needs to raise the temperature and add steam, it will bring in moist warm air here, and so it'll add heat and moisture. If it needed to cool the air, then both of those coils would be cooling. If it needed, and if it was drawing out moisture, well, that's what would happen anyway in cooling. If it didn't want to draw any moisture out, it would probably bring moisture in through the steam hose. So it has the ability to do all of those things: heat, cool, reduce humidity, increase humidity, and in any combination. So in the true forms of an air conditioner, it does everything as well as clean the air. So this has a very good cleaning system for the air, for air quality. So put the filters back in, they just slide in. I'm going to push them a little bit hard, but they do go in, and they just sit into place, and that little retainer holds them there. The same as this one. So they are left and right, hand sides. You need to make sure you've got the little cog in the right place so that it does drive. That clips into place. Then just got to close that and slide it back across to lock it in. And then that just slips in there. And that clips on. Feels like you're going to break it, but you shouldn't, cross fingers. So yeah, that's how you clean the filter, clean the dust box, clean the streamer, and then also probably every 2 or 3 years replace the photocatalytic filter. Other good thing about this unit is that the louvers up and down, they're quite large, so it does angle them and direct them very directly. A lot of brand units, they've got louvers, but they really do bugger all because they don't actually move the air anywhere. And also the louvers in behind, they're quite long and deep. They've got the room on this unit because it's so big, and they're quite directional. And the other good thing about it is you can set these individually. Okay, so if you've got a room this is off to one side, you could have one blowing straight and one blowing at an angle. So they really have looked at a fair few things with this unit. Some other key features is that in here it has mold protection. So when you put it into mold function, what will happen is the fan will continue to run for a certain period of time and it will dry the coil out. The fan will only run if it's been running in cooling or the coil's moist or wet. The reason it does that is if that coil is sitting there and it's a hot room, which they usually are once you've turned the air conditioner off, perfect breeding ground for bacteria and smells, and then that's where you get the bad smells from an air conditioner. So if you can run the fan to dry that air out, you will reduce the chances of this stinking mouldy and smelly. Yeah, from the controller, it has a lot more features and functions than the normal air conditioner remote control. And yeah, like the biggest thing is the humidity to remove and add humidity. And it also brings in a small amount of outside air. So that's always good for making the room feel and smell fresh. But yeah, in summary, excellent unit. Bit ugly because it's so large. You know, this one here sits off the wall 380 millimeters compared to, say, that small split system over there, which is a 2.5 kilowatt, and it only sits off the wall about 230 millimeters. So it's a lot bigger, it's a lot wider. The outdoor's a lot bigger, but the bonuses for it being bigger is it actually has a lot of performance beyond what it's rated for. So I think this one's rated for like 2.5 kilowatts cooling, but it can deliver far more than that. In heating, it's at least double. So I think it's rated for 3.2, but it goes to nearly 7 or 8. So it's an excellent heater. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a big mistake by Daikin to pull it from the market. But anyway, yeah. Then now you know how to clean the filter and a bit more about it and what you can't get. Sorry. So yeah, in summary, the US7, excellent unit. Pulled from the market now, not so excellent. I really think it's a mistake of Daikin. Hopefully they're going to come out with something new to replace it, but I've asked the question and so far there hasn't, well, they said that there's nothing replacing it. So it's a bit of a loss. It is a segment that a lot of people who knew a bit about air conditioning were going for. You know, had a 7-star rating on the 2.5 kilowatt system. Yeah, it's just a real shame that it's now gone. But anyway, wish I'd done the video earlier, but that's what it's like when you're too busy. But thanks for watching, and yeah, like and subscribe. I'll try and do more videos soon. Thanks again. See ya.
When the sun's beating down and the sweat on your brow, fully air conditioned. When there's ice on your toes and there's frost on your nose, fully air conditioned. When you can't sleep at night cause it's hot as hell inside and you think you're gonna go insane. Or when you're having no fun cause your hands and toes are numb, you only need to remember one name. Keep the winter chills away till the summer